So, y'all, I just got an email offering me a $75,000 sign-up bonus to go back to work. And it made me stop for a second. Should I do it? Would you do it? So, I've been getting these periodically. This one's from Walmart. As you can see, it's 75,000 for the pharmacy manager, 50,000 for regular staff pharmacist. I mean, everybody has a number. I don't know if this is my number. What do you think? So yeah, my fire brain said no. My human brain is like, I don't know. But here's the thing. Here's where I get petty. When I graduated 10 years ago, 2015, they weren't trying to give me a job. No, I tried for so many retail jobs. They were not trying to give me a job. Everybody was like sign up bonuses for pharmacists or a thing of the past. But I guess you wait 10 years and things change. So this is interesting for the profession, which is good. I am a little bit tempted just because, I mean, I did go into healthcare to provide it for people. So clearly there's a need. I just don't think that that need is going to be filled by me at this point. But I will say I'm very tempted. I mean, 75K up front. That could fund a new trip, maybe some new investments, more than a year's worth of living expenses. There is something to say about like, I don't know, just the prestige of like being that desirable for the profession, the challenge of redoing or restarting as a retail pharmacist. I don't technically have the experience, and that was a barrier when I first graduated. I would have to get relicensed in a different state because I'm only licensed in North Carolina. So that's an issue. But just, yeah, I think if I were looking for a new star and I wanted to try to get back into the workforce, it would be a compelling offer. Right now, I'm still in burnout recovery. Another pro is just knowing that if for some reason I failed at early retirement, that my skill set is still desirable, which I was already pretty confident about, but this is more of an affirmation of that. And I like the email too because they're like, you could easily live here and commute, or Kansas State University, and you get that college town energy, which I love. Like, if I was actively looking, I would be very intrigued. I would definitely at least apply and see what they have to offer. I almost want to visit this area of Kansas just to see Milford Lake. I love everything about this email. When I actually clicked the pharmacy manager one, it took me to this. And so 75,000 is a sign-on bonus, and they'll pay for relo, which is nice. I certainly have never gotten a bonus that big in any of my jobs. I mean, my first job only paid like 80,000 for a year, so I can't imagine 75 as a sign-on bonus. It doesn't say how long you have to work to keep the bonus, but let's see. Yeah, the salary range is 112 to 197. So that's like 75% of an annual salary. So yeah, that's something to think about. The other thing that I will say I am thinking about in 2027, when I'm officially done with my self-imposed burnout recovery, I am considering taking the multi-state jurisprudence, which is something that wasn't available when I graduated. It's an opportunity to sit for a law exam that will be valid in multiple states. So, for example, when I graduated in 2015, you have to take each state's law exam. So I only took one state because I was so burned out then and tired. And I just figured, I was going to live and die in North Carolina. Luckily, that didn't happen. But if I had the opportunity, I certainly would have taken one exam that was, what am I trying to say? One exam that made you eligible to be licensed in multiple states. So if that had been offered back then, I would have taken that exam. But it looks like they're starting to offer it in 2026, perhaps due to what I am perceiving as a shortage, to make it easier for people to be licensed across multiple states. So that's a boon. But yeah, I'm thinking just as a challenge and just to stay current in my industry. And in case, down the line, I want to pick up a couple of shifts. I think that would be a good opportunity to do that. So in 2026, they're going to start offering a multi-state law exam. 2027, I'm going to think about taking it. for opportunities like this, spend a weekend, a week, maybe do a little travel pharmacy. Anyways, other cons, why I left work in the first place. The stress, retail pharmacy is no joke. I mean, that's a big con. Lifestyle trade-off. Actually, I feel like just this morning, this afternoon, I'm starting to actually believe, my brain is starting to lean into the fact that, oh my gosh, I actually don't have to go back to work. I don't know why it took this long, but just a heads up for those of you who are thinking about it. It's not an instant switch. I thought it would be. I mean, even when I reached my first lean fine number, I was like, once I reach that, there's no way I'm staying at work. Because you hear about one more year syndrome, and I'm like, those people are idiots. Like, why would you work so hard for something and then when you get it, just keep working? But that's exactly because once you reach it, I think the pressure of having to do it, that does feel a little instant. You feel freer, like, oh, I don't have to do this. This is really a choice. And I think by the time, at least for me, by the time I reached it, yeah, that I just felt like a noose had loosened a little bit. I mean, I was in a bad place in terms of stress, and just my body was depleted of all the good hormones, but I felt more hopeful, I think. So, but yeah, I ended up staying on for another 3 years. So I said all that to say, is the trade-off of going back to work worth it? At this point in my life, no. The freedom I would lose, no. One of my core values right now is freedom, and it comes in so many shapes and forms, and it changes every day. But yeah, having somebody rule over me like that, I'm not ready to give that up. As far as time and peace, worth it compared to money, 75K is nothing to sneeze at. I think I would blow it all though. I don't think I'm at a place where I'd want to, if I had to take another job, or if I did take another job, I would want to just blow it. I would not be interested in saving anymore. I think that part of my life is over for now, unless something changes. I want to just blow that dough, as they say in the early retirement forums. So yeah, I mean, if we zoom out, like, what's the real price of going back once I've tasted freedom? I mean, 75K, I think that's a pretty good price for my freedom. But yeah, I think the point is why financial independence is so powerful. While this email is very tempting, it's a sexy offer. I get to choose, right? I don't have to chase this. My life isn't depending on whether or not I get this job, whether or not I get this sign-on bonus, whether or not I'm ready to uproot the community I've built to relocate to somewhere new. Although for me, that would be more of a plus because I like trying new things. So yeah, right now, I mean, I don't even have the license in Kansas, so that would be another step. I don't say I'm not tempted. I'm not tempted enough to do anything about it, but I was tempted enough to open the email for sure. So yeah, tell me, would you take 75K to go back to work, or once you're out, do you think you'll be out for good?